If this is an emergency, be sure someone has dialed 911 before proceeding. Be sure to open all contents of your bleeding control kit before treating the patient. Apply your gloves to protect yourself from blood exposure. Then, use the shears to cut away any clothing around the site of the injury. Use the provided dressings or any other cloth to provide direct pressure over the wound. If direct pressure stops the bleeding, secure it in place with a bandage or continue to hold pressure until responders arrive. If the injury is on an extremity and the bleeding is not controlled, use your tourniquet. Place the tourniquet at least 2 inches above the site of the wound and not over a joint. Reassure the patient, letting them know that it may be very painful as the tourniquet is applied. Once the bleeding has stopped, secure the tourniquet in place and mark the time on the tourniquet.
Hello, my name is Andrew Young and I'm with Carmel Fire Department. Uncontrolled bleeding is the #1 cause of preventable death from trauma. A person can die from uncontrolled bleeding before first responders arrive. The more people who know how to control bleeding, the greater the chance of survival. You can save a life by knowing how to stop bleeding if someone, including yourself, is injured.
Notify the facility manager if this kit has been used or damaged. Be sure you or someone else has called 911 before treating the patient and do your best to keep yourself safe. Once the injury has been exposed, be sure to hold direct pressure over the wound with the dressings provided or some other type of clean cloth. If the bleeding is controlled, use the bandage to secure the dressing in place or continue holding pressure until responders arrive. If the injury is on an extremity and the bleeding is still uncontrolled, use a tourniquet by sliding it over the extremity or unfastening it and refastening it around the extremity. Be sure it is placed at least 2 inches above the site of the injury and not over a joint. Make sure the tourniquet is applied tightly around the extremity before proceeding. Then you can undo the windlass rod from the windlass clip and begin turning it until bleeding is controlled, reassuring your patient that this may be very painful, but it is imperative to preserve their life. Once the bleeding is controlled, secure the windlass rod inside the windlass clip, feeding the extra strap over the windlass clip and securing it with the windlass strap and marking the time the tourniquet was applied. While this information we've shared can make a great impact in saving a life, we encourage you to visit bleedingcontrol.org for more information on bleeding control techniques and stop the bleed programs.